Greetings everyone and welcome back to Top Tier Arcade. My name is Steve. It's the crack of dawn. It's a very early morning and I want to get an early jump to the Robo War pinball machine. This is going to be part one of the restore and I'm very excited. Now I'm going to take you to show you the machine itself, a really quick reference that I'm using the momentum of this beautiful restoration we did just past videos on the Atlantis EM pinball machine. It went beautifully. If you want to check my archives, it was a 3-part series. So now with Robo War, I'm going to show you how it stands as we speak. And other than playing it, it'll work from time to time, but there's still a lot of things I have to do to it. I'm going to start to compile a laundry list of what I need to do. I've opened Robo War to give you guys a visual of what we're going to be doing to start this off. The great news is inside the cabinet, it's pretty clean. A bit of a musty smell, but I think it will clean up nice. Here is the back box. This is a unique system, the System 80B, but it's a partnership with Premier and Gottlieb, and they've only made a few of these models. T8 Sector's another one, Diamond Lady, Robo War, of course. And it had one fluorescent tube instead of a lot of LEDs, so we'll see if we're going to replace that. There has been a bit of board work done. I did get a new power supply from Boston Pinball, and it's been pretty rock solid. And a quick visual on the back, not really too much going on there, but it has a clip. I want to tighten that up. I've started to use Swords of Fury now as a bit of a part bench. There's a translite. I have a replacement coming because that's super faded. And then, of course, the lockdown bower. And eventually I'm going to start to add the plastics and whatever here. Let me lower the playfield, show you what else we have going on and how we're going to progress to start this project off. So I've lowered the playfield to give you guys a closer look of what we're dealing with. And I'm going to be setting you up shortly for a montage to depopulate the top of the playfield to get to it to, clean and wax. I have new parts, new drop target stickers, and a few other things I'm going to show you now. So these are the parts I have at the moment. These legs are going to be replacement legs for these because these are too tall. This is from Eddie, pinballleds.ca. It's in the description below the link, as is his casters and lights. So we're going to be adding all LEDs. New rubber ring kit. I'm going to probably add 2 spotlights here because it's a dark game. Front sticker for the game I printed years ago. The laminated score sheets, and then also, the stickers and whatever else. And then on the candy counter, we have all my cleaning supplies and all my tools ready to go. So let me set you up and let's start. So now that I've depopulated the top of the playfield, it looks pretty good, but it does show that there is definitely a lot of dirt and grime that will come out. We're going to be polishing and cleaning the metal portions of the game while on, and cleaning up the playfield, and then repopulating it with rubbers. Let me show you all the parts here. All right, so slowly by slowly, I'm going to start to chrome what I can, and I'm going to start to work away at this. I'm going to cut back periodically. One thing I do have to do, I'm going to do it off camera, is the lights right there on the bayonet. I'm going to remove all the lights under the play field, and then I'm going to start to clean the play field, and we will go from there. So far, so good. Great start. So I've removed all the lights from under the play field. Before I add Eddie's LEDs, I'm going to be cleaning the inserts just so they're nice and bright when they come through. I'm going to be using these lights here. These are Eddie's. I went through frosted. It was recommended. And then also I have the flashers. So I've installed all the LEDs under the playfield into the bayonet sockets, and some of them are really hard to get to because Eddie's LEDs, the ones I chose, had a dome on top, so some of them were a bit tight, especially in there. I scraped my hands pretty heavily, but anyways, it was worth it. So far so good. The next step is I'm going to clean all of the plastics, all of the metal, and then I'm also going to be cleaning. I have these like last time. I have these, all the plastics in soapy water. I'm going to leave them overnight. So when we come back tomorrow, I'm going to just wipe them down and have them ready to go. Then I'm going to clean all inside the cabinet, clean all of the outside of the cabinet, and then where the head is, see that void sticker? I want to get rid of that. Clean it up the best we can. Clean up the coin door, touch it up with a little paint. And then what we would do after is once we get all that done, we're going to come back and clean the top of the playfield. So it's the next morning, and I've been taking a few hours now just cleaning all the parts to prepare for the repopulation later on. So I've wiped down and cleaned all the plastics. I've removed some stickers. I'll show you in a moment. I've cleaned the plastics. All the plastics have been put in a soapy water. They're now drying and rinsed off and cleaned. What else I've done is under the metal apron, this was all rust. So what I did is clean it up, sanded it a bit, and hit it with some black spray paint that's now dry. And then the best part is it took longer, but it was well worth it. I took sandpaper and I ran it under water, and I cleaned all the metal parts, which came out beautifully. So it's the best I can. Some of these have been pitted, but that looks great. Look at that. The ramp looks amazing, as does the wire form. And I've also, if you haven't seen my Atlantis video, I found a bit of a hack on how to make it super polishy and chrome looking. I used Peak, so I used a toothbrush, rinsed everything off, and then I used Peak with some microfiber rags. And then after that, I know it's a bit of a crazy hack, but it works. I use Deoxit D5, put it on a napkin or a paper towel, and then I'll wipe it down, which again looks really nice. So those look great. There's a lot of rust on those. Next, what I'll do first, I'm going to work on cleaning inside the head. Just a quick wipe down. As you can see, that's just dirty. And then I'm going to be wiping outside of the cabinet. I'm going to be using some Goo Gone. It seems that there was tape, to maybe wrap the head or something. And then later I'm going to chrome down the this where the lockdown bar goes, and then I'm going to clean inside. And then thereafter, I'm going to come back and I'm going to clean the playfield. It's really dirty. There's a lot of rust there, as you can see on the metal, and it really needs a really good clean. And look at that. Look at the rust there. I'm going to see if I can get to all that rust. So I've cleaned the cabinet in and out. It's taken a lot longer than I thought because it was very dirty in there and rusty in a lot of parts. Let me walk you through it. So the coin door I touched up the black paint. That was all rusted, and that was there was some missing paint flakes. I've added that in. It looks really nice. I'm going to deal with this assembly and the missing light bulb holder later on. The cabinet cleaned up nice. I've added the baking soda just to absorb any lingering odors. Like, again, there was rat droppings when I was wiping it. It smelled like urine. So definitely there was rats in here at one point. It stunk. Now it smells really nice. I've sanded down that as best as I can. There was a lot of rust. I've chromed out the tilt ball holder and assembly, the playfield brackets, the arm, the shooter rod. I've done all this as well, all the metal, and then here as well. I also cleaned these brackets are really nice now, the best I can. They're nice and shiny. They look nice. I got rid of that void sticker and I really cleaned the back plastic. That actually comes out, and that screen was filthy. So that looks beautiful the way that it is. So that looks great. I also cleaned and bent back this bracket because the head was shaking a bit. It wouldn't actually clamp down, so I fixed that. I had to bend this back. I clamped part of my finger as well while doing it. This metal might be forged by Sauron in Mount Doom. It's that strong. I couldn't believe it. It took me an hour to finally bend it back. But anyways, that looks really nice. Cleaned the cord, cleaned all the cabinet, all of the tape that was there, that was kind of the residue has been gone. So a lot of cleaning. So up next is to clean the playfield. Let me give you a top-down view of currently how it stands. It is filthy and it needs a lot of work, especially chroming that metal out and getting rid of, as best I can, that rust. But this is going to take a little while. It's a lot dirtier than I thought. I'll be back to show you the progress. And we are done, the playfield. Wow, it took a long time. Before I show you a close-up view, here's what I've used in the material and the products. If you don't know, Gojo I used with a toothbrush, and a la TNT and Todd Tucky, they've been using it for years. They gave me that tip and it's worked on the Atlantis Restore and now the Robo War. So great tip. This works amazing. I used the pinball wax. This is from Eddie, pinballleds.ca, in the description below. And I used deoxit on the metal as well. That was a hack I used. If you haven't seen my Atlantis Restore, check that out. And then prior to using the deoxit, I would polish it with Peak. This is Peak polish. Used a hell of a lot of paper towels. And here is the result. So obviously the playfield, I cleaned it with Gojo first. Well, I wiped it down with just a wet microfiber. Then I used Gojo to get off all the grime and dirt. And then I used the pinball wax to wax the playfield. I then took the Peak. I would polish that and then put the Deoxit 5, a bit of a hack, on a paper towel, and I rubbed it. Look how beautiful and shiny that is. Drop targets are all cleaned up and ready to be restickered. Beautiful chrome on all of the parts here. Love how, look at that mirror finish. Again, end it off after you do with Peak, Deoxit 5. I know it's not cheap, but so be it. The playfield looks amazing, nice and waxed up. I cleaned that as much as I can with the rust that was there. More importantly, though, this looks really nice. Look how beautiful and mirrored that is. That's the part you can see. So now I'm going to lay out all the plastics, all of the metal and everything, and organize this. So before I start to repopulate the playfield, I've laid out all of the metal parts here on Swords of Fury in the hardware. On Data East Turtles, I've laid out all the plastics and all the parts for the plastics. On Dracula, I've laid out all the lights, stickers, and also the legs. And then on the candy counter, I've laid out the rubbers and also the plastics. So that will do it for part one of the Robo War Restore. We'll see you in part two, where the first thing we're going to do is add the new legs. These are from Eddie, pinballleds.ca, and then restart to populate the playfield. If you hadn't had a chance to subscribe, please do so. So much more coming. If you want to see the end of this rebuild, it will be a great video coming up. Thanks again for checking out Top Tier. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.